All right, everyone, and we are now live on YouTube. Today, we have a special guest, Vincent from Listings to Leads, and he's going to be covering strategies to help you guys win more listings. And he's also going to dive into some of the new fantastic technologies that Listings to Leads is bringing to light for agents to help you guys grow your business and make more commissions. Vincent, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. And in case you don't know about us, we've been around for about 13 years now. We have tools for you if you have listings, and we have tools for you if you don't have listings. So whether you want to talk to more buyers or more sellers, we have tools to help you do that. So I'm going to, before I kind of dive into the system, I want to talk about a couple of new things that are out there. Now, one is really light, but I just happened to look at somebody from our mastermind group. And this is, we actually just launched an integration with a company called Linktree. So if you use social media and you have a profile or on a client's Instagram page, Linktree has been out for a few years. And it's kind of like a platform like Instagram doesn't give you a lot of links, right, to go and take people to one direction or another. But having social media is smart. A lot of people follow you. So you can have an integration with Linktree even before us, but now we've snapped it inside of our system. And this is, I'm just going to show you what Linktree looks like for one of our clients. And so all of these links, you'll see my website, search all properties, get your free home value in Spanish, and then real estate tips in my home card. So when you click on my website, this is pushing to what we call the agent listing website. So I don't know if you've even seen this. This is not something that we talk about too much, but it has all your favorite lead gen links on the left. It has all the listings on your account inside of here. And if anybody decided to click on a listing, it would drive them to a single property website. So if you're taking, yeah, this is pretty sweet. And you know, if you're taking the time to build a social media presence, you know, you can always kind of reference, like, check out my links above to learn more. And then as they get here, they could go to search all properties, which is a kind of a different inversion. But here, this guy has, where it says get your home value, he has taken our home valuation landing page and has just made his own version. So if you've seen our what is your home worth landing pages, they have a certain look, and this looks pretty close to it, but he's actually gone through and customized it. And then he customized another one again in Spanish. So this guy's down in Southern California, so he's got, you know, both English and Spanish speakers that he's working. So he can create this inside of our system, then have it as a link living in here. And then anytime anybody is following on social media, he can get to it. So you can use these kinds of things in multiple ways because everybody's business is different. You can see here that he's using our auto posting to post his listings automatically. This is an automated post on Instagram. And so, you know, he's building up that network. He's showcasing the kind of work that he's doing. And then he's got that super cool thing with Linktree. So I just saw that today and I was like, wow, that's great. We actually just pushed that not even 4 weeks ago. And so that's kind of something that's there that I think people are starting to get their arms around. I do recommend it, especially if you feel like your, you know, social media is part of your strategy. Now, if you don't know Listings to Leads, social media is definitely part of our strategy. We have tools for you to automate social media completely, to allow you to run ads on Facebook and Instagram in one click. We're about to launch Google Ads, right? So Google is a very powerful place to run ads. We're excited to do it. It's just there's a lot of, you know, crossing of T's and dotting of I's, but we're in testing mode and we're about to launch a very simplified version of Google inside of our platform. And if you've used our Facebook platform, and I will show it to you in a bit, we have boiled down 3 pages of Facebook and the multiple boxes you got to check to have a successful ad to basically one click. You just choose what property you want, you click go, and you're going to start getting leads with name, email, and phone number. So beautiful. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I mean, I can't wait. So I want to talk a little bit about how to get listings. Before we started the call, I mentioned, you know, it's a really competitive market. Homes have been selling really fast. You know all the dynamics going on better than I do. But what I'm about to show you is working for our clients right now in this market where it's so hard to get listings. We got tools to help you get listings. So in this count, I'm looking at an agent's listings, and he's got a couple of listings. One is just listed, and then he's got a few that are sold. And I'm gonna show you the tools that you want to be using when you have a property that's just listed, and the tools that you want to use when it's sold. And you could do this again if it's open house. But what you should know about listings to leads is when we have early stage homes like coming soon, just listed, or active, our call to actions are to get buyers. Okay. And that's our first call to action, right? If we go look at our single property website down here for a property that's just listed, let's look at it together. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what's going on here. So this says just listed. It's kind of got the normal things you would expect on a home, right? Price, square footage, all that stuff. But as you're scrolling through, you're going to find that it's going to have this call to action about what is your home worth, right? If you keep scrolling down, you're going to see that we got some PDF reports. They're all branded to you. There's a map, normal kind of real estate, information. We got a call to action. If somebody clicks that continue with Facebook, excuse me here. Sorry. If somebody clicks continue with Facebook, we grab their name and email and deliver it to you. So you know the property they're looking at, and you know their name and email. If you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to notice that there's another big footer about what is your home worth, right? So you might wonder, why in the world are we doing that, right? This home is just listed. So why would we be asking people, do you own a home? Right here, when this call to action comes up, if they click on Facebook, we are going to ask them, do you own a home? Right there. So even if it's a buyer lead, do you own a home? Yes, I do. Do you need to sell it before you're buying a new one? Right? This is a question that we ask. And the reason we do is that we're just applying common sense here. I think you all know that if somebody wakes up in the United States today and wants to sell their home, they don't just start calling random realtors, right? They start doing research for weeks and often months, looking at homes for sale in their area. So if you're marketing your homes with our system, we're going to have a bunch of call to actions, even when it's coming soon, even when it's just listed, even when it's open house, like, do you own a home? Because we know that people are looking at that are looking at open houses. Many of those people own a home and they want to see what's going on in their market. So that's a big part of just our normal tools. But there are 3 tools in here on the market listing section. And in case you don't know, you're not familiar with this page, if you're using our system, you do have a listings page and all your listings are there, right? And so if we take that and we click on market listings, a lot of these tools are emailed to you automatically. But when it comes to getting listings, the number one tool is this nearby homeowner letter. And I'm going to tell you that for years, this has been our number one tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. So let's download it. Let's look at it really quickly and understand why that would be the case. And I'll take a sip while that bakes. So it's a simple piece of paper, okay? This is not electronic. This is not artificial intelligence or nothing like that. It's saying, I've got a home for sale in your area. And you can take this piece of paper to your own computer and type that in and go find out about it, right? But then we also say, when that home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So click here or take this piece of paper and type in this web address and go to my home value page, right? So a lot of realtors see this page and they have probably heard that running an ad on Facebook is the best way to get listing leads, right? Take this ad and go run, what is your home worth on Facebook? And had we been talking about 4 or 5 years ago, I would be telling you this is the number one way to get listing leads. But now it's 2022 and Facebook has had their hand smacked a number of times, and they have removed the ability for you to target on your ads. So those ads of running a home value page on Facebook, it's not very useful. It definitely is probably the lowest quality listing leads, but driving them to the same page with this piece of paper, well, this can be the highest quality listing lead. So let's go over to our mastermind group, and I'm going to show you a couple things about that. This is from Pat Motley, on April 6th. Okay, she's a client. This is our mastermind group. If you're a client, you should be in this mastermind group because you're going to see questions by our clients. But in this case, this lady is saying, I just got to tell you, I just listed a property. They actually, I'll try to boil it down. A couple of years back, she sold a condo in a big unit, in a big unit of 250. So she takes that flyer and says, hey, I'm selling a condo in your building and go get your free condo value, right? So she does that. That's about 2 years ago. She pulled 3 listings from that one mailing. And every time she got a listing, she mailed out again. And so she got another listing last year. And then just a couple of weeks ago on April 6th, somebody called her and says, I've been holding on to your flyer. I want to sell. So she's, that letter just keeps hitting. And now she's going to sell that home and she's going to mail more letters. And that's just going to carry on. But there's actually a better example of how to apply it. That's the simplest way. You get a property, you get that flyer into the neighborhood. For her, it's a big, large, condo development. So it's pretty easy for her to get in there. But I think a really good example of how to use this letter right now is was shared to us by one of our clients named Chris Winstead. So let's see here. I thought I was there. Yeah, what happened? Maybe my internet is slow. Can you guys hear me okay? Oh, there we go. There we go.
We can hear you just fine. Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So this guy, Chris, I'll tell you a story about him and we'll get off of this. This guy was a client of ours for a few months and he jumps on and says, I got 5 listings in 3 months from your neighborhood letter, right? And we were all pretty excited. So I jumped in and say, well, what's going on? How is this happening? And he just spells it out. So I can't really make it any more clear. This is a really solid way to use this letter. He says, I send out letters every other week to neighbors who've owned their homes for 5 years or more. Okay. So he buys that list of people with equity from Remine. And then he sends out a letter just like this every 2 weeks. And when they go and they take that piece of paper in their own home to their own computer and type in that web address and then give him his name, their address, and their email address, well, then he gets to work, right? Once they opt in, he hits them up every week with phone calls, bomb messages, letters left at the door, and letters via mail, right? So every week he is hitting these leads until they convert, right? That's a very simple way of thinking about it. There is work involved. I'm not trying to blue sky you here, but if you want listings, this is a really simple formula to get it done. Now, I'll tell you one more thing, we'll move on. This guy, Chris, he had just moved to San Antonio. This is where he bought a home in a new neighborhood from out of state with his wife and kids because he wanted to be by his wife's family. And he went from zero, nobody knowing him, to him borrowing listings to being the top listing agent, one of the top listing agents in his office. And I think he said San Antonio, which would be remarkable. But he's doing so well that he's opening his own office and he's doing his own tutorials to tell people how he uses our tools to become productive agents, which is awesome, right? So right now in this market, that tool is the #1 tool to get out there. Now, there's certainly going to be times where I've heard from people say, well, I did that and it didn't do anything. It is still the #1 tool, right? I've got clients. Yeah.
So I love where you're going with this. I'm curious, has Chris Winstead ever attempted to upload that Remine list into Facebook to target with that What's My Home Worth ad?
I don't know if he did, because I don't know if he got email addresses there, but I definitely tell all of our clients to do that, to create that custom audience and stay in front of them. Right? Yeah,
so Remine gives you first name, last name, phone number, email, several appended phone numbers and emails. And then you get all of the information on that particular property. We coach on going and pulling that information from Remine as well. So I was curious to see if you'd attempted that, because our clients have seen a lot of success running that Facebook ad out front. But we do it kind of opposite, and we coach in using the tools that come from Listings to Leads, these mailers, these letters, and we use them on the back end once we've captured their information from Facebook for about $10. Then we send out the direct mailers behind Merlene, who's actually on this
Oh.
call, has just won well, it was three. She had another appointment. I'm sure she'll pipe in just a second, but she had won 3 listings from that and had another listing appointment last week by utilizing postcards and direct mailing tactics after capturing that lead on Facebook.
Yeah, that's great. So
the
you
direct
have
mail is a huge piece of the puzzle.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the mailers are really doing great for me. And I did go to that 4th listing, and she decided to wait a little bit, and because she's still trying to figure out where she wants to move to. So she doesn't want to sell and then not be able to go. She's trying to go out of state, and she's still confused to where she wants to go. So, but we talk, and I think I will get her listing when she decides. Yeah, but all is because of the mailers. The mailers they do work. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's interesting that you do it. That's and thanks for sharing that about Remind, because I didn't know that they gave you the email address. But if you're hitting them that way and you're getting conversations started in social media and you follow up with print, that makes sense too. I think that really gets to me is like, you really do have to think of your real estate business as a business, and marketing via social media, marketing via print, and marketing via CRMs is really the affordable way for you to surround your market. So if you've got those leads in your CRM, use our tools that have multiple call to actions to activate those leads. They're sitting there kind of dormant, getting dripped on. So you're hitting them that way. I'm going to show you a tool that does that. We're talking about the tools now that do print. And of course we have tools, for social media. So you're able to really surround these folks until you win business, right? So that's the number one tool. It's here on this marketing list. You have it when it's just listed, when it's open house coming soon, under contract or sold. The next tool I'm going to show you is the e-flyer for your database. So if you have a database, if you've got like a constant contact, or you've got a realty juggler or any CRM, most of them are going to allow you to take content and blast it out, right? And do an email blast. And you should definitely be taking this tool, because this is the same thing. This is the electronic version of the print letter I just showed you. It says, I got something just listed, click on that picture, click on that link and become a buyer lead. And then below, that's going to affect your home's value when it sells. So click here to get your home value. Did you have something to say there, Willie?
Oh no, sorry, I was coughing.
Oh, okay.
I will say Jim chimed in and said that he loves that condo and he's gotten 26 leads in 3 days from it.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it does look nice, that's for sure. So when your CRM is out there, I know you guys are, you can have different ones, but definitely this blasting it out, once a week or a couple times a month on any listing at any status is a smart thing to do. And the last thing that's going to help you get more listings on the listing marketing side, it's called the seller social media post. And this one is the one that I think is confusing to most of our clients, but it actually is very effective at getting leads. Not a lot of leads, but these are the closest to a referral, right? So if you want leads from your client's sphere of influence, we email this tool to you and we tell you, hey, forward this to your client and ask them to put it on their Facebook wall, okay? So I'll go over to my Facebook wall and show you what that's like. So imagine you're the realtor, and then you just email this to me, right? And you say, hey, I just sent you an email. Call them for 5 seconds. I just sent you an email. I know you get 100 a day, just like me. Would you put this on your Facebook wall for us? We just listed your home. We want everybody to know about it, get as many offers as we can, get top dollar for you, right? And so that's what this is, that your client, the homeowner, puts this on their wall. In this case, it's just listed, right? So it looks good. You'd expect that from us. But if somebody clicks on it, well, then it takes them to the single property website, and you've seen this, right? This is going to, capture both buyer leads and seller leads, okay? So the thing about this is, yes, it does capture leads, but more importantly, if I'm the homeowner and Jim has given this to me from EXP and I put it on my wall, well, now all my friends know, and all my family and colleagues, that Jim is my realtor. So this gets your name in front of your client's sphere of influence. And of course, you can capture leads. And these are better leads, we think, than just a random internet lead, right? When you throw out an ad on Facebook and you got a 15-mile radius, awesome. You get leads, we're excited, right? We want to see that. But now you're getting leads not from a paid ad, but you're getting leads from the friends and family and colleagues of your clients. Now, there's another important time. I've been talking about this home that's just listed, but you should actually use that particular tool multiple times. A lot of our clients actually use the, sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. They use that nearby homeowner letter, the print letter, multiple times for each listing. They will use it when it's just listed. They'll use it when it's, let's see here. We got kind of a mistake here so I can see.
Hey Vincent, this is Colin.
Yeah.
Nadia's asked, have you seen success with this and when clients are living in a different state?
With this particular tool that we're talking
Yes.
about now, or in generally speaking?
Nadia, you can repost your text if you.
Hi, yes, now the one that the sellers are using their social media to post
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So if they live out of state, is that what your question is?
Yes, I have a listing right now where I'm using your program
Okay.
that I have for sale right now, and I don't think it's suitable because the sellers are located in a totally different state than Florida.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to have any luck by sending this to them to
Well,
showcase to their friends and family.
It kind of depends. Like, I don't know where they live, right? But let's just say they lived in Chicago. If they put this up, well, their friends and family and colleagues in Chicago are going to see this, right? In this case, we sold their home, right? And when it's sold, it says you've done an excellent job, and here's your phone number and email for all my friends and family to call, right? So if you want more business in Chicago and you want those people to know that you are their realtor and you can help them move to Florida, well, this could help. Does that make sense?
I think for this particular one, this is a sold case, but I think the option is also available for an active live listing that's still currently available for sale.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But even though here, you can use this tool, and that was my point of showing you this. This is a home that's just listed. This is a home that's open house. And this is a home that's sold, right? So if you're using it multiple times on the same home, what your real goal here is to let these people know that you are a realtor who can help them. And I do know that in many parts of the country, people want to move to Florida. So if you want to kind of target those people, which for some agents is a strategy, for years we've had clients in Florida running ads in New York and Chicago to get people out of their wintry homes into, the nice warm Florida climate. So, maybe not every time you want to use this, but I do think there's definitely value if you want people to know that you're a realtor in Florida. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're looking at what we've been talking about are the tools that are in the listing side of things, right? So I just want to wrap this up. In this part of our platform, the nearby homeowner letter is the #1 tool. The e-flyer for your database is also very useful, and the seller social media, which we were just looking at. I'm going to also point out here, this is the social media auto posting. This is something that everybody should absolutely turn on. It's automated posts. So if I click here on Facebook, this takes us to the automated posts that we have done for you. And I definitely recommend this because 1, it's free, 2, it's automatic, and 3, it captures leads, okay? So what we're looking at here is auto posted to our client's Facebook business page. It'll go to your Facebook business page, your Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram accounts. And it looks cool here, right? We see this. And so if I click on it, yes, behind it is a tool to capture leads and deliver them back to you. So I was just looking at it as I was about to jump out of this account. That social media auto posting, you can set it up on your profile. It's free, it's good. And when the home is sold, just like our ads and just like our letters, The language is not there to get more buyers. The language, sorry, the call to action is to get sellers. So definitely I definitely recommend that you take advantage of our social media auto posting, and that, you take advantage of the later statuses as well. So I'm going to jump out of this account, because the next section I want to show you is what to do with our platform to get listings with Facebook. Okay, so that one I'm going to log into my account, and to run ads, there's 3 kinds of ads to run to get listings. Okay, and when we click on the ad section, I'm going to assume you've connected your Facebook account, so we won't really waste our time with that. We do have support that'll help you do that, but once you've got your own Facebook account connected, you can run these 3 kinds of ads: a listing ad, a landing page ad, and a PDF guide ad. Let's start here on listings. And if you run an ad for a sold property, like I mentioned earlier, leave it on lead ad so we get pre-populated email, name, email, and phone number. All you really have to do is click publish. Okay, if you try to run this ad in Facebook, there are literally 3 pages and multiple things you got to check to have that work. But right now, you choose your property, and assuming it's sold, you can see on the top right that this is sold. Our call to action is that your home value has been changed. Click here to get your free home value, right? So right now, I would just tell you, it's not the easiest thing to get more listings right now. And so for some of our clients, just clicking this, choosing the property is sold and click publish will get them listing leads. But I think everybody has to take an extra step. I think they should, because it's just tough to get listings. Click advanced options down here and scroll down to this section that says primary text. This text here is the same as this text here on the right. So you can change it beforehand, right? You can change it before you run the ad. And right now in this market, there's usually some data points that look something like this, right? In contract in 24 hours, right? Now that may not be happening for every home, but literally I've heard this. It's just happening. And a lot of realtors feel like, I don't have anything to market. Like, I can't use your thing. I can't use your system. But because I just sold my home and it went in contract in like 3 days. I'm like, oh my God, you need to announce that. You need to run an ad just like I'm doing, and tell people that you got 10K above asking, or that it was in contract, and that you had 10 offers, right? And you got 9 buyers still looking. The thing is, I think it was Nadia who was mentioning, like, there's a person sitting on the fence, and there's no problem. Everybody has their reasons why they are not ready to pull the trigger right now. But when you can put in front of them that you can do it quickly and get top dollar, they're going to be thinking a lot about talking to you. And that's where you need to use Facebook, is to get that story out. And so running a sold ad with that kind of information is going to get more people to click. Make it very clear, right? And then just click publish. Now, I mentioned there are 3 kinds of ads. And before I show you the rest, I do want to explain something. In case you don't know Facebook, this kind of ad strategy or platform is called like a PPC, short for pay per click. So every time you run an ad, if it's $30 or $50, every time somebody clicks on the ad, well, Facebook charges you, right? And that's the cost of the lead. And so you can actually see here, cost per lead can be $2.12, or it can be 50 cents or $3. We just analyzed the last $500,000 spent by our clients in our platform on these pages right here. And we analyzed the sold side, right? What's going on to get listings. And what we found is that sold ads are the cheapest way of getting listing leads from Facebook. Okay. So if you want more listing leads, dollar per dollar, it's running ads that are sold. And if you're going to do sold ads, definitely take that few seconds and make that more enticing and get people to click. Okay. And I can tell you, if agents just want to not update that and they just say, hey, this is sold, they often can just put that out there and they get no response to their ads. They don't lose their money, just nobody clicks on it because they just don't know, like, oh, I didn't know that there's a reason I should look at it, right? The next best kind of ad to run is a PDF guide ad. If you click on PDF guide ad, and you'll notice that we've got more than 25 PDF guides for buyers and 25 PDF guides for sellers. So since we're focused on, the sell side right now, you can go, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little white button, a little white circle in each one of these. And that means you can download it. And if you download it, you're going to notice that you are branded on every page of these, right? So if I click create an ad on the 12 mistakes to avoid, all I have to do is type in the name of the town, okay? And you have a minimum 15-mile radius. If you want more people to see it, you can expand that radius. And you click publish. That is all you need to do to get to run that out there. Now, I'm going to just kind of take a break here for a second, because earlier Brian mentioned something that I kind of think is a little bit techie and not everybody knows. But since Brian dropped it, I do want to let all of you know that you can retarget in our system on Facebook. And if you don't know what retargeting is, it basically means you create a custom audience inside of your Facebook ad account. And that could be anything. That could be your old Zillow leads, your old Realtor.com leads, or old leads from a previous company, or a list of leads that you bought from Remine or any other company. And you can load them up into Facebook and call them my old leads. When you turn on custom audiences and retargeting in our system, that tells us to take every one of your leads and create a file in your own personal account called L2L buyer and seller audience. So all leads that you're capturing from our system all get dropped into this file in your account, and they stay in your account forever. And you can retarget those as well. So retargeting is a really smart way to use it. You guys are using it in a slightly different way. For us, we often think of retargeting after you've initially contact or captured the lead, because you want to stay in front of that lead. And so social media is a great way to do that.
Well, and Vincent, we coach on both ways with that as well. So using that list to go and initially target the specific audience that you're looking for, especially on the listing side. And the larger the list, the better. I mean, over 40,000, the larger the list, the better that you can import. And so we've done trainings where Remine allows you to download 10,000, a list of up to 10,000 at a time. We teach agents to go into a marketplace, start at a baseline price point, and scale that price point until they have the entire market. And so if you're uploading a list of, like, say San Diego, I personally have a list of 280,000 homeowners in San Diego County. If I go and upload that list directly into Facebook and target based off of that list, Facebook is only putting my ad in front of those homeowners. So that's number one. We also coach number two on the back end to retarget your new leads that are coming in with advertisements, so that you can stay in front of it and as part of your follow-up campaign, so that way you can stay top of mind to your potential buyers and sellers that are in your marketplace. Your guys' tools and resources, though, we do a lot of trainings on these, and I think it would be really cool for us to have a conversation after this training, because we have some very unique strategies with winning listings that are a little different from what you're coaching on right now, but using the same tools and resources. So I think it'd be awesome to chat a little bit further.
Let's do that. Now, I do see a couple of questions come in here. I want to address one, which is, can this be done even if you represented the buyer and not the seller? So I think that is more related to, can you run a sold ad on a home that you help the buyer? And the answer is yes. We don't really know your local rules, but I know a lot of agents who are helping clients buy a home. They turn around and say, hey, that home just sold. They know because they helped their client buy it, right? And then that means you would have to go into listings. And let me just show you. You'd have to go to listings, and you'd have to go to add listing up here. And you'd have to probably do that manually, because sold properties are not visible for us to pull up. And if this is not your property, it's not going to flow into your account because you're not the listing agent, right? So, but we're not like the MLS. We've got like 5 data points that are required and a couple of photos. You can probably find that somewhere. And then you'd have all the tools that I'm discussing here. So let's go back to the ads, because there's one more kind of ad that I think everybody should be aware of. And I actually think that realtors are aware of it. And that is a landing page ad specifically for free home buyers. Now, this is a way to get listing leads. It is not the best way. The quality of these leads of just generically throwing out what is your home worth, it doesn't work very well. You know, 4 years ago, this was awesome. It's not awesome anymore. But, and one, I want to kind of tackle a couple of issues, because I see questions in our mastermind group all the time. And one that's getting asked, and I get this question directly a few times a year. I just want to address it for you, just in case you're thinking of it. Running a generic home value ad is not in your best interest if you want leads, okay? And the question came in our mastermind group like, hey, can I do this at the county level? Can I run an ad on the county? And so I'm going to show you my landing page section. And the short answer is yes, you can create a landing page at the county level. You create a landing page here, and Property Valuation Plus is the name of our landing pages that offer instant home value. So you do that. And you can type in anything. You could type in a city, you can type in a neighborhood, or you can type in a county. Now, most of our clients do cities, and some of them do neighborhoods. And every once in a while, somebody does a county and they don't know why it doesn't work. And let me explain to you why it doesn't work. And so I'm going to show you this here. This is Pleasant Hill. Okay. This is my landing page for a town just adjacent to my town. And there's about 30,000 people there. It's about 5 minutes from me. A lot of nice homes. Definitely want to do business there. So I have a nice picture of the new mall. So if you see this, you know I know Pleasant Hill, right? So if I take this, I want to run an ad on it. Now that I've created it, I can go and create an ad. And I want to point out to you what happens on Facebook when we do that. So go create a landing page ad. And I want to kind of answer a number of things, because running ads on Facebook for home valuations is still what many realtors think is the way to go. And I definitely want you to know that it is not the most highly recommended way to go anymore. Our print stuff and the way that Brian is describing of using a targeted list, that is definitely the way to go. Now, I don't know why I'm not getting any love here in opening this. It seems like there's something in the way.
It's because you're doing a presentation, so it decided to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law.
Yeah. Okay. Let me click on it. Oh, good Lord.
I would, and Vince, I would, I want to actually jump in on that really quick. So I agree with you on the Facebook front, if your follow-up strategy isn't there. So
yeah.
When I was at Zillow, we did a study, and this was back in 2016. I know a lot's changed since then, but we were covering the what's my home worth leads, because agents would come back and tell us time and time again, these are the worst leads I've ever gotten in my life.
Sure.
Well, when we tracked them, we found that 6 out of 10 of those individuals, those particular listings, the addresses, those homes actually went up for sale and sold inside of a 12-month window. So the issue was that they had just got started on the potential of thinking about selling their home when they filled out that information. The agent called, they weren't interested in selling right then and there. The agent left it and never followed up. So
that is totally true.
What we found worked really, really well was continuing to follow up with direct mail to those individuals. And it gives you a much higher likelihood of capturing that lead. So I'm a firm believer that I get where you're coming from. You're seeing a lot more effectiveness sending out those mailers to local neighborhoods when those properties are going for sale, when they're being sold, and showcasing your expertise as an agent via direct mail. But you can be just as effective if you have the marketing campaign for direct mail behind your Facebook advertisement, especially if you're targeting a specific list of homeowners from Remind.
Yep, I get that. And that, you know, I mean, I don't want to get into the concept of do realtors like to convert leads, because I know they don't. I mean, they like it, but the work involved is not it, you know. But yeah, you're right. If you do have a solid system, I was just talking to a realtor at a large Remax conference just a few months ago, and he came up to me and he said, I just got to tell you, I convert 5% of your leads, your Facebook ad leads. And I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. And he's definitely got a system down, right? He knows, he's like, yeah, I generate a lot of leads with you. It's just so easy, but I also, know how to convert them, and they're really good. And so if you've got a good solid strategy of converting, you will convert some of these leads. You're 100% right, Brian. I think that's what the average realtor thinks. If they don't respond in 48 hours, it was a lame lead. And that's just not the reality. They're just not ready to talk to anybody right now, right? So you got to just warm them up. That's another reason, this is going to sound a little bit like off the track here, but we have an integrated text IVR in our ads. And I definitely recommend, if you're not using that you sign up for it. It's like $10 a month and you get 10 codes and they automatically go out on your ads. But when you're getting leads with phone numbers, because like if you're auto posting to Instagram, you're having us do that, and it says text this number to that, well, now you have the address they're looking at and their phone number, and that's a really great way to warm up to a conversation, is just text them every once in a while. I don't recommend putting them on a text blast system, but get your printout, get your emails out, and text them until they're warm enough to have a conversation. So let me click this button about creating an ad for Pleasant Hill and home values. And this is not, this is just to let you know what goes on Facebook. So if you're going to run an ad, I want to kind of tackle a couple things. One is, if I type in Pleasant Hill as a location, you may not know this, or you may know this already, you cannot target Pleasant Hill. It's going to be a 15-mile radius, okay? So if I go up here just to the normal World Wide Web and I type in Pleasant Hill, I want to show you what Pleasant Hill, where it is on a map, right? So that you can see what's about to go on if you run an ad on Pleasant Hill. And a few years back, you could literally target people with the zip code that was #1 and like net worth and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Top 1% of wealth.
Yeah, you could just target like super awesome. Well, they made a few mistakes, and so you can't do that anymore. But this map right here is about a 15-mile radius. So even though I'm trying to target this little white area in the middle, all these people out here are going to see it. And if they see it and they click on it, they're going to chew off about $12 of my $50. Okay, you don't want that, and that's a big challenge of targeting, and that's one reason why I'm not really a fan of this. But similar to what Brian is saying about, hey, if you've got a lead, now is the time to print. If you are going to go through a print campaign and you're going to go through that time and expense, and you know that mail is going to drop by like on Monday, I would probably run this ad on Saturday so that people can start to see your brand. And then when they get your mail, like, oh yeah, I actually just saw that person, right? So now you're tying from different platforms to get your brand and get people to respond to your marketing. So that's when I think this is good. Are you going to get the highest quality leads? Maybe not. Does Brian have an awesome way to convert them anyway? It sounds like it. So keep going, right? So let's go back here, and that's really on this side. Create a listing ad is the cheapest way. It's like about $5.50, $6 a lead. Creating a PDF guide is like $11, $12 a lead. I've seen them $10 a lead often, but the landing page ads are the most expensive. Okay, so if you're doing a home value, what is your home worth ad? Facebook sees that and knows that's like big money for you, so they're going to charge you the most for the lead, right? So, we got somebody in Tiburon. Hello. I'm a sailor, Stacy, and I actually learned to sail in Sausalito. So let me read this. I've been running Facebook ads to L2L. The majority are giving their price points to be below 500K. Right. So they're saying that they want to buy something for under 500K. Oh, yes. So yeah, so you're saying how can I target people that want a higher price point? Well, I'm not quite sure. Brian, do you know this? Are you able to target like net worth anymore?
No,
Are
no, no.
those
So
numbers?
that's where platforms like Remine, Property Radar, Prop Search,
Yeah.
Prop Stream, those all come into play. Because you can actually go into a marketplace and you can pick out all of your particular criteria that you'd want to target. I recommend everybody going, and I shared this guide. I can't remember the name of it right now, but there was a NAR guide from 2021 that actually broke down all of the statistics for homeowners that were buying, for buyers, and for sellers. And so one of the things that I would really focus on is taking a look at some of those key indicators. One of the big ones is time frame in home. If somebody's been in their home for 5 to 7 years, which is the national average for move up or move down, that's a great place to start when you're building and compiling these lists. So I always start with time in home, because we want to make sure that they've been there long enough to be able to make a move. We don't want to go and target somebody that just moved in 2 months ago and they just paid for their house. Maybe they haven't even paid their first mortgage payment yet, right? So time in home is the number one thing that I start with. Number two is we put that focus towards price points that are going to make sense in your market. So start with an equity point, or not an equity point, but a value in that home that you know is going to be a client that you're going to want to work with and be able to sell to. So let's say that that price point is the 950K as to what you're looking, because that's where condos start. Start at 950 and go and pull a list from 950 to $1 million. If it's 10,000 people, download it, delete your list, and you can do this in Remine. Delete your list, then go and pull from $1 million to $1.5 million. If it's about 10,000, download it, pull your list, delete your list, go and grab a new list from $1.5 million to $1.1 million. So that way you can just continue to pull your list and build up your audience of homeowners. Once that's all said and done, you can combine all of those CSV docs that you've downloaded into one. And we've done quite a few trainings teaching how to do this. There are videos on our YouTube that you can go back and review that show how you can actually take all of those lists, compile it into one. But once you've done that, simply, and you've gone from your baseline price point all the way to the ceiling, take that list, you can upload it directly into Facebook. Remine's going to provide for about 60% of those people, you're going to get phone numbers or emails for them. Facebook's going to be able to identify them based off of their name or their email or their phone number. Those are the three main unique identifiers. You can load the zip code in, so Facebook has a better idea of pinpointing the people with just names. That's perfectly fine. And then what you'll want to do is create what's called a special ad audience in Facebook. So the special ad audience is going to take a look at your custom list. So that's your homeowner list that you just imported. And Facebook is going to find all of the commonalities, and the highest percentage of commonalities for data points that those individuals have. So let's say that, interest in Zillow is one of those commonalities, because we, again, being special ad category for housing, we can't use detailed demographic targeting. So Facebook's going to pull their interests out of that list as it identifies the individuals. You create a special ad audience on that, and now you're targeting buyers and homeowners that are so the buyers are going to have very similar data points to the homeowners, but you're targeting buyers and homeowners so you can have the opportunity to win listings or go and get a lower cost per lead basis with your homeowners. And Vince, I gotta throw this out there. We've got quite a few ads that are running with the What's My Home Worth. And we're seeing about $7.50 to $10 is our average cost per lead on those, running it through Facebook, driving them to the landing page. And we're asking the additional questions and making the fields required for the full name, the phone number, the email address, and the property address as well. So those
Are you running those ads through our system?
Yes, we do modify the images and the ad copy. We put our own ad copy and image in there, but we see we're seeing a really solid response on those.
That's great.
They're performing well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good price as well. Let me show you a couple more things. I know we're going to hit the hour and I don't want to keep people. There's one other area that I do think, and you'll be able to utilize this, Brian, with this kind of strategies that you're using. But you may not know that this is there. So I mentioned earlier that you should all have a landing page for every neighborhood or city that you want. But if you click on edit here for any one of those pages, you'll notice that there's a box up here on the top left that says advanced options. And there's a tool buried in there that is also very helpful for you to get listings. Now, I'm just going to point out, this is for Release Valley, which is a small area in Lafayette. There's only one road to get into that neighborhood. And those are beautiful homes. You definitely want to sell these homes. You want to list these homes. And at the entrance is the swim club. So I've got a picture of the swim club so that you know, if you see this, that I know the area, right? And you definitely want to take that step to customize it. You just upload any image over here. But under advanced options is a print marketing deal. And so you're going to hear me talk about print with a nearby homeowner letter. Well, this letter is not about a property. It's just about a town or a neighborhood. And it's very simple. You actually, there was a pencil there. I kind of skipped over it, but you just want to change the data points, right? 20 homes sold in Release Valley. The high was here. This is what's going on. It's real simple. It's a one-page flyer that affected your home value. Go get your free home value there. So this is something you can use if you've got a farm area that you don't actually have any listings. You just want to get some content out there. Now, if you tie it with what Brian's saying about Remine and getting the targeted list, well, now you got something really valuable and helpful to send to these people, and that's there. So this thing about the print, I want to go over to the listing side, and I want to talk about a new partnership that we're about to launch. And I think a lot of people are going to be able to take advantage of it. Unfortunately, I don't have all the answers of what this is going to look like, but I have a high level of what's going to go on. But I want to mention one more thing about print. We also have down here on every listing, on every status, we have a section that says postcards and door hangers. And these are similar to our nearby homeowner letter and the letter I just showed you, meaning it talks about a home for sale or open house, but on the back of the postcard, it says that's going to affect your home value, get your free home value. And so these are great. And here you can get them printed by downloading it here. And then we've got an integration with a company named Prospects Plus. Now, Prospects Plus, they won't do the heavy lifting of our nearby homeowner letter, which is they won't stuff this envelope for you, right? And so our clients, God bless them, they download this in themselves. Many are handwriting envelopes themselves and stuffing their envelopes and mailing it themselves, right? They do it because there's a serious ROI for that time and money. But in less than 30 days, we're going to have an integration with a company called Express Copy right here. And you will be able to say, I want 100 to 200 pieces. You pick your number, you pick your zip code. You can even you choose your years of equity. And there might be some other data points, like I know that, credit score and things like that are options with that company. I don't know if we're going to have them all here, because when you have more options, you just confuse people. We want to get the things that are really helpful. And we definitely know that, years of ownership are a big factor. So that's going to be there, your zip code, how many you want to go out, and you'll be able to do it from right here without having to really lift a finger, just click a few buttons. So that's going to be exciting and very helpful for us. We can completely automate running ads. Like you can literally come to Listings to Leads now, go to your listing section and say, hey, I want you guys. I don't even want to touch my ads. I'm going to just turn on automated ads and set a monthly budget of here and choose my whatever statuses I want you to run ads. And we'll completely automate this, which is where we know we can get both buyer and seller leads for you there. But to automate our number one tool to say, yeah, you know what, I want to make sure that letter goes out, and we're just going to make it a couple clicks, is going to make it very easy. And as I said, just to wrap up, we're about to launch the integration with Google Ads. And so we're going to simplify that down. And I think these additions are going to make our platform a lot more valuable for you. So that's my story, guys.
Awesome. Love it, Vince. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. We've got a lot going on. Our tech department is doing a lot. I definitely would be happy to do, other calls with you, but I definitely I do try to keep you up to date as we're pushing new technology.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Well,
if we need more calls to talk about it, I'd be happy to do that.
Oh, definitely. Well, once you guys have the Google Ads roll out, we're going to need you back on here.
Yeah.
That's going to be extremely important for our users. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you jumping on here today. You've covered so many awesome aspects of your guys' platform. I love that you guys keep continuing to drive forward and build new tech to help real estate agents, and especially those that are here that are within our group. We do our best to coach on your platform, and we've come up with several unique strategies outside of what your guys are currently doing to showcase this and help our agents win more buyers and sellers. And I just love the collaboration. Every time we ever need anything or we'd like a change and say, hey, we'd like to ask this question in the Facebook ads, you guys have been so receptive to jump in and help us with it and make sure that it's there so our users have the ability to do it. And all of those things are doing a ton of automation for our clients on the back end that I know you guys aren't fully aware of. So it's awesome help to us every time we're able to meet with you. So we'd be happy to have you back on as soon as you guys have your Google Ads rollout, or if you have anything new and exciting in the interim that you want to share with us. We're always looking forward to seeing what you guys have out there. So thanks for being
I'll
on
be
today.
sending out a message to you soon of some of the latest stuff we're pushing. I think the next couple of weeks are going to be pretty exciting here, and then definitely we can do that. But we appreciate, I can tell you guys, we have a number of partners like you and other technology companies, but I actually think you guys are some of the smartest. A lot of the things that you bring to us, we do want to implement because we can totally see like, oh, they're right. And that's awesome. It's great to have, friends and partners out there that are really putting a lot of energy and thought into this. We definitely do what we think is right for capturing more leads and for getting more tools that create reach for our clients to make them look like rock stars. You guys, have a different perspective, and we definitely appreciate it, and we appreciate your feedback and input. So
Absolutely.
take it easy, everybody.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you.
Very much, Vince. Have a good day.
All right, and everyone, we will be live again on Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we'll be picking back up with our previous trainings that we were covering in our series, and we're going to be discussing branding advertisements at that time, and we're going to dive into some video marketing and how you guys can use some very inexpensive tools to help yourselves showcase as the go-to agent in your marketplace, build trust and authority. So I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Vince.